So I have been doing yoga for 20 plus years, and I love the inversions. I love how my neck feels after inversions. I love the inversions. I love a headstand, a shoulder stand, a plow. They feel so good. But this year I turned 50, and I have been hearing a lot um, of neck injuries from doing headstand and shoulder stand and plow. And they aren't from inexperienced yoga people. They're from people that have been doing them for a long time. And if you look at the anatomy of the cervical spine, over time, they're probably not meant for that kind of pressure, and especially not for someone that's starting to age a little bit and doesn't have the experience doing them. So there are some alternatives. I went deep and searched and found some alternatives that really do effectively give you that feeling of having done shoulder stand and plow and headstand without the risk to your spine. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to spend some time opening up and engaging those muscles that you would normally engage in shoulder stand or headstand. Okay, so we're going to start with a great warm up. So inversions are so great because as we age, we start to lose. So you're going to take a yoga block. I like the 3-inch yoga block. So you're going to put it under your sacrum. You're not under your tailbone, and you're not in that lumbar curve. You're really just squarely on the sacrum. So as we're doing this, a couple things are happening. The diaphragm everything is kind of moving up, kind of an anti-gravity. This is good for your lymph system. It's good for the organs themselves to have different pressure put on them. It's good for your circulatory system. It becomes more difficult as we age for the body to return blood to the heart. And so we tend to collect a lot of fluid in our lower body. So this is a great, you're just spending time here, just feeling. If you want to come up higher, you can. You can turn the block the other way and you get a little bit more. Kind of think of having the back of your neck long. You're not trying to smash your cervical spine to the floor, but you're bringing your chin a little closer to your chest and you're getting a stretch in those, in the thoracic and cervical spine. So we're just going to spend a little bit of time here. Take some deep breaths and feel how that feels on the organs, in the diaphragm. Just take some deep, and also just through your sacrum, through your lower abdominal area. Just spend some time breathing here. When I do shoulder stand, which I'm trying to replace with these exercises, I will put my palms down and engage my triceps. You can do the same thing here. You can press the triceps and the whole palmar side of your hand into the floor. Engage those muscles through the back of the arm and press like you're using them to lift.
You could spend 5 minutes here. It feels really good. It's a great opportunity to just reverse the effects of gravity on the organs and on the spine. Okay, so we're gonna come down. And we're using a lot of props today. And it's a little bit of trial and error on what size of ball you like. We're going to, you need a yoga block. I like a smaller one, the 2-inch one for this, and a set of balls. You can try the different sizes and see what you like. I actually prefer the medium-sized ball for this. And I'm gonna place the ball, the set of balls, between, so my collarbone is between the two balls. And I'm going to bring my head, so my spine is straight. Actually, I'm wrong. I want the taller block for this one. Okay, so I'm going to maybe even want the way taller block. So I'm gonna turn it so that it's tall. The ball, like I said, they're right. My collarbone is between the two balls. And this is a wonderful, we're gonna stretch the attachments to the collarbone in the first rib. So you're gonna spend a minute just sinking down into those muscles. You'll feel what's tight. And I kind of like to grab the yoga block, and I'm just gonna use that to come back and forth. I'm just rolling about half an inch, maybe an inch, back and forth over. Feels so good to release those muscles. And just allowing my spine, my head to relax. There's no energy in my cervical spine, just totally letting it go. While sink into the tissues all of them above and below. Up, fingers, changing the length of the muscles that attach there. Okay. To the other side, everybody, well, they have the same muscles. They're different lengths. Everyone's bones are different lengths. So, turn just a little bit here. So you're gonna have to play with different sizes of balls, different yoga blocks. So I have the ball, my collarbone is between the two balls. And then I'm just gonna spend a few minutes sinking into those tissues. These ones are not as tight for me as the other side was. And then I'm gonna go back and forth, just a little bit, an inch as I work the muscles. SCM. My arm. And I'm going to walk my fingers across the floor in a semicircle over all of my props. Head. I'll just sink into my pec. Okay, so we're going to go further into the pec. And we're going to use these smaller blocks. If you have two sets of balls, you can use them or just take them out and use them separately. I like doing both. It's a little bit different every time. For time's sake, I'm just going to use them inside the mesh bag, but I actually really do kind of prefer them out because they can go deeper into this pack. Okay, so I have a yoga block on either side. Turn a little bit so you can see that a little bit. Okay, so yoga block with the balls. And I'm putting the balls under my collarbone into, you want to make sure that they're kind of between, in that space between your rib cage and your shoulder. Okay, so your neck is just going to be straight in a neutral position. And you're just going to kind of roll your shoulders around, allowing the balls to sink into those tissues. Now I'm going to press, I'm going to press my arms into the floor, engaging my pec. I'm going to sink down further into those tissues. And again, I'm going to press and hold. Take a deep breath. Really press those arms into the floor. And then release and sink down further into those tissues. Great place to spend some time. I'm going to flip my hand over so my palm is facing up. I'm going to very slowly bend my arms back behind my back. Very slowly bring them. Do this one more time. My palm is facing down. Flip it. Rotate so that my palm is facing down. Okay. So I definitely, my chest is more open, muscles are longer. I definitely feel like I've spent some time in plow and shoulder stand. I'm going to now bring, we're just folding a little more air. Okay, I'm going to place this ball underneath my neck. And I'm going to just do a few kind of crunch. So I'm really engaging all the muscles at the front of the neck. Crunch up. Putting a little bit of pressure from the ball on my SCM and on my sternum. This is a pretty intense engagement. You'll feel that up into your jaw. So after we do that, you can use a number of different balls for this. After you do that, we're just going to spend a few minutes massaging those muscles, moving the SCM just a little bit back and forth.
come up, or they attach. You can even work into your jaw. That feels really good. And then do the other side. You engage those muscles. And now just help them release the stickiness of the ball. You can do this with your hands, but the stickiness of the ball is really nice. It's a little bit raw and pressure than your hands would be. Get all that fascia released and increase the fluid into the jaw. Feels really good. Finish where we started. We're gonna take, I'm using the bigger balls. We're going to place them, so we're on our back, and I'm gonna place them. I'm not going to my low back, I'm just starting like thoracic area. And I'm going to walk those balls up. Between my shoulder blades. And if I find a spot that I need to spend more time in, then I'm going to. You can come up to the top of the shoulder blades. And try to pinch them together. And then pull them apart. Pinch them together. Do every day. It feels really good. And it just helps unstick the scapulas. Okay, this time I'm gonna press my elbows into the ground. And I'm just gonna hold. Balls are right at the top, between my shoulder blades, at the top of my shoulder blade. However, there is no like right or wrong here. Like you could be right between your shoulder blades, a little bit lower down. Any work around the shoulder blades done this way is very beneficial. But right where you're at the top of your scapula, you have a muscle called the levator. It goes from here to, and attaches up around C2. And it is such a problematic muscle for a lot of people. So if you are right at the top, between your scapulas, at the top where that muscle is, it's such a great, place to be. So again, I'm actually engaging my abdominal muscles in the front. I'm not trying to really overemphasize this low back curve. So I'm engaging these muscles. Everything else is relaxed except that I want to press. Press my elbows into the ground as I work around the scapula. And then I'm going to just allow the balls to come up between in that cervical curve. I'm going to just bend. I like the larger balls for this because that's what fits my cervical curve. Something different might work for you. You can also put a yoga block underneath there if you need a little bit more. I'm just going to look side to side. All of those attachments at the base of my skull. As you look side to side, you might try to bring your chin to your collarbone. And then just nod, bring your chin
Closer to your collarbone, straight down. And get all of those wonderful attachments. It's a great thing to do when you have a little bit of a headache. This is a really great replacement for doing shoulder stand, but puts far less pressure. You can really get the benefit. If you want, you can take the yoga block and place it under your sacrum while you're doing this. So you're getting a little bit more of the simulation of shoulder stand without so much pressure. Just work those muscles back and forth. When you are in shoulder stand, to look side to side would be a very dangerous thing to do. That would definitely not be something you do. But because here we have less pressure on the neck, I can do that. And then not work backwards. So the last thing, actually, not gonna be there. I love how it feels to have a little bit of pressure on the sutures in the top of my head. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time there. Not gonna come up into shoulder stand, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of pressure on those. So I can prepare for that the same way that I would prepare for headstand. On my knees, by holding my biceps, I'm gonna bring my elbows to the floor. I'm gonna cradle the back of my head. And I'm just gonna spend time right here. And put a little bit of pressure on the sutures in my head without putting the full pressure of headstand. And that inversion is really good. So those are a few ways to get the benefits of the inversion poses without having the risks to your spine as you're aging.